Welcome to Padel. Today we are just a few days after Racket X, and one of the most innovative companies that we had here in Miami these days was Pallap. We are lucky enough to have Phil Mintz, who is the CEO for the Americas, at least North America, of this innovative company. One of the things that got my attention during these days is that they had Hugo Cases here in Miami doing some clinics and being kind of their advisor. So we want to know it all about Pallap. So yes. Phil, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. First of all, I would like to ask you, who are you? How did you finish working for a paddle company and making it become one of the top brands?
Well, I've been in the racket sports industry my entire career. I spent many years in the head organization, and then I spent, after that, many years in the Dunlop organization.
Oh.
So I've been around all racket sports, from tennis to squash to racquetball, consistently, working in all aspects of the business. And then a few years ago, I went to work for a company called AFP, who in the U.S. was called ARS.
Oh.
They had a U.S. subsidiary under a different name, and we were the global licensee for Adidas.
Okay.
And I had a small background in...
So you were selling Galan Pala, right?
Yes,
correct. The metal ball.
Correct. But at the time, they were focused on building courts through their court division.
It's true.
And they were correct in that they felt, if there's no courts, we can't sell equipment. So let's start building courts. And then the market started to get a little active, and they brought me in to build their products business. At that point, they weren't selling any products. There was no structure. So I came in and I laid the foundation. I sold the structure, put in a sales organization, a distribution organization, warehousing, offices, and we started to sell quite a bit of product because the market started to grow. At the time when I first started, there were maybe 20 or 30 courts in the U.S., and half of them were in private homes.
Okay.
Now, as the market's starting to grow, it's still very small, but it's starting to grow. And I left that company in the middle of 2024. Okay. At this stage in my career, I felt I wanted to do something for myself.
Okay.
And
that entrepreneurial virus got into you.
Yes. Right? Well, I've been working for big companies and helping them build their business and their structure and their organizations for many years, and it was time to do something for myself. So I formed my own company. We're called Gear for the Game. Okay. And that's our company, and under that, we needed to have proper brands. And I felt Padel is still a year away or so from exploding in the U.S., but you see the growth over the 3-year period. It's going to happen. It's going to be tremendous. And in anything, it starts with the product, and the product is the game of Padel. And I say Padel, I interact Padel and paddle, depending on...
Marcos influence there. I can feel Marcos influence.
Correct. Well, there's a good reason that it's called Padel in the U.S. versus globally called paddle. Because when you say paddle in the U.S.,
they think about the other.
There's so many other sports. If you Google it in the U.S., you get oars. Yeah. So Padel is a great word to use simply because if you know it, you know it, and if you don't, the best thing comes. Oh, what is that? So now people want to know what is Padel. So it opens up the conversation. Okay. So the product is great. The game is great. And there's no doubt it's going to explode. You see many people coming into the game. So my background is in equipment. So through a mutual friend, I connected with Chris DeSalis in the UK. And he had just formed a brand about 8 or 9 months ago called Pallap. Okay. And the idea behind Pallap, the word means, it's a silly name. It kind of imitates the sound. Paddle slap, plop. Pallap, when you hit the ball. So it's kind of a fun name. It's not, an interesting term. It is a palindrome, for those who know what a palindrome. Do you know what a palindrome is? Yes, you can say it back and forth either way. So anyway, here we have Pallap. And the concept behind Pallap, as we discussed earlier, there's over 200 brands. Who needs another paddle? So it comes back to, what's the reason to exist? The product. The product has to be unique, it has to be different, it has to have a reason. So at Pallap, we looked at the product. There's many rackets out there. They come from similar factories, a lot of them from the same factories. They look the same, they feel the same. There's no uniqueness to them. And, you know, some of the big brands are doing well. And we decided we need to do something a little different.
Okay.
So we have, obviously, that's when we brought in Hugo Casas.
Okay. Well,
And
Casas
came on board in the development.
Did you convince someone like him to jump into a new brand? Because I think it's not easy. Like, I think the product has to talk by itself in order to convince someone that is so experienced and is well based in Spain.
Well, Hugo didn't come in because we said, here's our racket, do you like it? Hugo came in the beginning, and he was part of the development team. So he worked with the engineers to create, you know, what should it create? Why should we need it? How should they perform? How should one model compare to another model? How we should structure the product line? So that was Hugo's role, and Hugo's role is our global ambassador, obviously with his status, as well as his input into our product development. So he's crucial in the product development stage. So what we did is we created superior engineering. We have very high technical engineering, and what are some of the other things we do different? Materials. All our materials are sourced in Europe.
Okay.
So we have foams from the UK, carbons from Italy, and then we created an engineering and a process that would create a superior product.
Okay.
So not because it's my brand, but because we feel the way we construct the products, the materials we use are superior, and that creates a higher performing product at every price, from entry through pro level. And what we do there is, then we feel a lot of the other brands are charging super premium prices. We obviously, we're a business, we have to make money, of course, like everyone else, but we do what we feel is we charge a fair price for our products. You know, one example would be our Star Series products, which are our most popular.
What's the price point? Because, like, excuse me, but I come from Spain.
Yes.
And the prices are super different. So, in general, I buy my rackets there, and I bring them with me, because here is like twice the price. So, what's a fair price for the US market?
So, our product, with the materials and the quality and the construction, our Star Series, which is our middle of the line, retails for $199.
Okay.
And if I had to compare the materials we use, the construction processes, it easily compares to what some of the other brands are charging well over $300 for. I mean, it looks great, it performs phenomenally, but it's a fair price to the consumer. We're not gouging people. So our reason to exist, our proposition, is we're putting out the best performing product at fair prices.
So you can spend more money in classes.
In classes and lessons and everything else. You can buy our balls. We have balls too.
Okay, good.
But no.
So what's the product line? I don't know if you brought with you some of the rackets to show us.
I have
Hey, now is the moment.
Okay, let me grab the bag.
Open. Let's see what he has on the bag.
Sorry, I should have had this
No
ready.
ni no ni no ni no ni no ni no. Let's see. Tariro tariro.
So
Chun chun.
put that up there.
The balls, okay.
So for example.
They're green, like they're green.
Yes,
yellow,
yes,
green.
they're green. You can open them up. You want to open them up?
No.
Okay.
That sound is like, oh, it's opening a beer. Like, oh no, they're balls.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's a very good performing ball. Balls are
Okay.
personal. Some people like a faster ball. Some people like a slower ball. Ours is kind of
Middle.
neither extreme. We get great feedback on it, great
Okay.
performance. It's a good quality ball.
Good.
That's, So this product, for example, this is our.
Don't open it.
Okay, well, I do want to show you. I want to show you what we do. So this is our control. We have two series.
Lo hizo.
A
This
control.
is a special moment.
Yeah, no, we
When
have
you
a.
take the plastic out.
That's okay. We have a control series and a
Rumbo
power
Podrigo.
series. So in our control series, for example, this is our entry product.
Okay.
I'm even having trouble opening up. It's packaged so well. Okay, so this is our control series,
Okay.
and so it's got a really, here's my-
That's you.
a really unique look to it. Beautiful sculpting. And we do some things
It is best new.
Yes. We do some things here. So our entry price point, this is where a lot of brands cut corners to save.
Yeah.
What we do is we're using multiple layers of a very high performance fiberglass. We call it Pro Fiber. So it's not the standard stuff. It's high performance, highly resilient.
Okay.
We use a very soft 28 millimeter.
It has rugosito, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's got texture on it.
But Beautiful. It's also, well, they're like two different kind of surface.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. It uses a nice, very lively, powerful EVA, so it makes it easy to get the ball moving, which beginners need help with that. And we also use a carbon frame. This is where most brands, to protect it. Most brands are using a fiberglass frame at this price point.
Okay.
We're using a carbon frame, which gives it better rigidity, less torque, more stability as you hit off center.
So it's a bigger sweet spot. Right?
The whole face is a sweet spot. It's a very easy racket to play with.
And it's kind of aerodynamic, right?
Very aerodynamic. It kind of has that F1 look to it.
Okay.
Very cool looking. And
very sharp.
Yes. And that's why I opened it. I even wanted to show you we put a premium wrist lacer on there, which is nice, padding and comfortable. So this is our entry racket. We call it our
entry.
This is our entry. We call it a beginner racket, but honestly, an intermediate can still play with this racket. And
so once people get engaged, they can continue. Like they can do effects with this and all that. So they don't need to buy another one.
Correct.
Like 2 months after.
Yes.
Okay.
And we retail this at $120.
120.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
So no one is doing product like this at these entry price points. So we're very confident in our product range. And then the racket that I mentioned.
Where are they made? Oh, I see.
This particular model is made in Pakistan.
There's a sticker,
We make our products in 3 locations. Our opening price points we make in Pakistan in a very high quality factory. Then our premium rackets, our pro level rackets, we make in either Spain or Morocco.
Okay.
And sometimes.
So they are Mediterranean.
Yes. Exactly, and they're very high quality, high performance. The same racket out of the Spanish or the Moroccan factory are identical. The performances, we have super high quality control. For example, on all our performance models, most brands have a tolerance of 15 to 20 grams in weight. Okay. And that's a lot, especially for
when you play, especially in the volley, you feel it like go there over.
And especially for rackets that are being sold at over $300. Yeah. And that's simply a lack of quality control. Yeah. All of our rackets have a tolerance range of 5 grams.
Oh, wow.
And
super sharp.
Super sharp. It's quality control. It's quality materials, quality control leads to performance. As they say, if you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about
another little thing we do is you can see right here.
The grams.
We put the exact weight on every paddle as it leaves the factory.
Yeah, like
so
here.
You can see exactly the weight of that particular paddle. So if you want to match your paddles, you can do that. So this is the star model I was speaking of. I mean, this is a beautiful. Like me. This is an intermediate through advanced paddle. Beautiful product, design, engineering, all the specifications are on the racket, and again, this is a product that from
you can see the density of the rubber, right?
Like so this is a little firmer at 30 versus 28. We mark it. We talk about the features. And this uses a dual carbon frame for rigidity, so 2 layers of carbon.
So this is light and this is the star, so it's weights a little bit more.
And this is the model I mentioned was $199. I mean, this is a high performance.
Like middle high.
Correct. But again, at a fair price to the consumer. So the challenge to make this brand successful, because we know we have superior product, we know we have superior performance. We've got great endorsers like Ugo. We have Paula, who is here at the show as well. 8-time world champion. She's in the same.
Paula Yeragivel, right?
Yes.
Wow.
I have trouble pronouncing her last name.
Yeah, so, it took me a little bit.
A lot of letters.
I had a coach that used to coach her, and so that's why I know how to say it. But it took a little bit.
I need to practice that better. But she's one.
We have to find like a short name or something.
Yeah, Paula E.
Yeah.
So, but similar to Ugo, she is from day one, she's involved in the development of the product, the testing of the product, the look of the product, the feel. So we have credibility with the top,
the best endorsement.
the best endorsement, and they're not just endorsers, people who we pay some money to and say, "Oh, like our racket." No, they're actually involved in the development of
and people
the
that
product.
have been also like somehow the pillars of what we're living now with paddle, right?
Correct. Yes.
They're not like the first wave, but people that in the past, let's say 20 years, they've been involved in the industry. So
Yes.
they understand the basic or the beginnings of the paddle world and what we are living now and what the future is demanding. So
Correct.
I think that works.
And that's part of the culture of Pallap. We're great product, high performance, designed by players, for players from beginning through advanced, and then we do have our pro rackets as well. And they're very high performance. So for example, this comes from our Power series.
This is more aggressive. I just see the shape. And
These were part of our Control series.
Yes.
And we make the same racket in both series. So there's, just like here you have a Star Control, we have a Star Power, depending upon your style of play.
Okay, so these are the Control and now the Power.
Now the Power. So the Power you see has a much more rigid throat area. Here we're using a basalt carbon down here, which is a material no one uses. It's a much more expensive premium carbon.
Oh, yes.
It allows for
I
feel.
can, like, my nails here, like.
Yes.
Okay.
It allows for feel, rigidity. We're using a Kevlar frame.
Oh, Kevlar,
on this.
like the ski.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Correct. So again,
High engineering.
the high engineering, the best quality materials. And this is a heavier racket. It's a diamond shape. It's higher sweep side.
The sound is different.
It's for a very aggressive.
360 grams.
Yes.
So it's
This is for an
people that know what they are
a
doing.
pro level player, you know.
Really good. This is not for me.
And the look of the product is beautiful.
15K.
Yes.
Typical.
15K.
Don't worry about the K.
We're really, again, every product has a design performance
And
target.
where is this one done?
This one is made in Morocco.
Two. Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So you have this one, the velocity. So this is more aggressive. This
Yes.
is like
For
this
very
would be
high
more like
level
the
play.
round shape,
Yes.
and this is the
diamond
diamond
shape.
shape.
Correct.
Okay. And what's the price of this one?
This one is $380.
Which is the professional one,
Right.
the pro.
But we feel at $380, what we're putting into a racket compared to what the competitors are putting in, that we're making it worth $380. So
No, but when you take them, they all have like polished finish.
yes, the fit and the finish of the
It's
product.
not like a toy, the first one.
Correct.
Like,
The fit, the way the finish, the seams, everything is super quality. There's no kind of cheating with the product. And so the concept with the brand is to have the best product, performance, price at every level. And now my challenge is to make people know about the brand, learn the name, get it into clubs like I-95, get it on the shelves. We're in some of the best clubs already.
Yeah, I saw that Paddle House has your rackets, right?
Correct. Padel House, we partnered with them very early on because they recognized the quality and the performance of the brand. We're not just a big brand name. Yet, we will be.
That's it.
For example, Jordi Serrano, who's the director of all the paddle houses, is now one of our endorsers. He's one of our U.S.
And a great guy.
Great guy, nicest
I don't know
guy.
when there's a tournament how he doesn't like to get away organizing everything.
Yes, but Jordi is one of the top U.S. players as well, and he's promoting and playing with our product. In addition to Paddle House, we're going to be in Dallas Paddle Club, which is a new premium club opening in Dallas. They're building a stadium to host tournaments.
Really? Wow.
So there.
I need to visit.
Yeah, they're opening soon. We're going to be in Sensa Paddle in Boston and Nashville. All this is happening over the next few months. There's a new club opening up in Lake Nona, which is near Orlando, and that's called.
That's where the big tennis center is,
yes.
right? Like
Yep.
the
They're
USDA.
they're opening up Bulldog Paddle, and we're going to be partnering with them as well. So, as a small brand, we can't be everywhere. We can't be everything to everyone.
But you pick.
We pick the select places that are the top, the premium places that are building the game, building the sport, that want to be a part of the growth and are building, top-notch facilities. That's who we like to partner with. At every facility, we're trying to sign coaches because it's important. So we have top coaches. So if there's any coaches out there, feel free to talk to me.
I may have some friends interested in talking.
We want to get coaches. And we're going to grow the brand. We're not going to be, the U.S. is a little different if you want to talk about the marketplace a little bit. So the U.S. is different from Spain and Italy and the rest of Europe, where there are 200 brands, and the best top brands are endemic brands.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because there's something that gets my attention. Like, let's say in Spain, mature market, more than mature.
Yes.
There are a lot of brands, and they're the classic ones. Here in the U.S., I feel like there's the Spanish one trying to get here, but also the classic tennis ones that have the product, like let's say the Wilsons, the Pallap. So for people that start, they usually go to those brands because they know it.
Yes.
It's familiar, so they feel safe there. And then they see friends that have the Bull Padel, the Knox, and like, oh, these people, where do they come from? And they start to see Tapia, Coelho, whatever, and that's it. So how do you introduce a new brand that is doing a great product into this fast-growing market?
Sure.
Which also is, to me, I think Americans are very open to try new things. To me, it's a differentiator with Spain, where I come from, that you like something you stick, and here people like to change and try. So how is your approach, your strategy to approach the market?
We actually have a big advantage in that. So you're right. In Spain and Europe, people go to the big brands, Bull, Knox, because those are what's known. Here, Miami is the biggest market, but it's also the least reflective market of the rest of the country.
Yes.
The rest of the country is
not Miami.
Yes. I mean, I love Miami. Great place, great clubs, super for
you say
paddle.
that because you're not here in the summer.
Yes, but here it's more of an international marketplace for the sport. When you go to new clubs opening up in North Carolina, in Georgia, in Denver, Colorado, in Texas, in Arizona, those consumers, like you said, many of them are coming from the tennis market. So they know the Babalots, the Wilsons. So those are the natural brands they gravitate to first. And they pick that racket up. So the advantage is they don't know who Bull Paddle is. They don't know who Knox is. They're just names. They don't mean anything. So we're equal in that sense. So if we can get our brand to be known by the American consumer in all those locations through, coaches and grassroots, because we are a grassroots company, marketing. I'm doing a lot of social media. I'm doing your podcast. Of course. Thank you for having me. All that, as those customers become more educated to the global market, the Pallap name will be up there with all the other names. There won't be a difference.
That's your goal, your approach.
Yes, that's my approach. So, and that's why we're partnering with clubs all around the country to get the brand out there for people to see it. And the product will speak for itself once it's in someone's hand, once they see it. But so we're partnering with those clubs, but we're also partnering with some of the top retailers.
Okay, like?
We're partnered with Racket Central. In New York City, the premier location shop is a very small specialty shop called NYC Racket Sports.
Okay.
Woody and Joan, who are the proprietors, they've been there for 25 years, and they're selling our products.
Okay.
And they're doing very well. They're actually selling and reordering. And Woody told me a great story. He called me up the other day. I can digress a little bit. He says, up till now, people come in asking for rackets, and I've been showing them and selling your brand. If they come in and ask for, the LeBron, I sell them that racket. But whenever I show your racket, I'm having great success.
Okay.
The other day, someone came in with a picture and asked for the racket.
And what did
he was
do?
So excited. He sold it to them, of course. But that means the message is starting to get through. It's starting to resonate.
So there's no effect you're looking for. It's
so,
starting to work.
Exactly. All the newsletters, the industry publications, the constant, the Instagram. It's starting to work. People are starting to recognize the brand.
So part of the strategy it's going to be also sponsoring players in the US, or
Yes.
how it's going to work?
Yes, we want to sponsor players, so it's coaches at clubs.
Okay.
It's players on the U.S. circuit, and that's where we have Jordy.
Okay.
And we're looking for more, so we want to get more. And we're not the big brands where we want to be everything to everyone. I don't need 20, 30 players. We need the right people who have big social media followings, who are friendly, who talk, and that's Jordy is the perfect example of that. And we'll get a few more. We're looking for some female coaches as well, because we're not a male-dominated brand like some brands like to be.
Too, right?
Exactly. We have Hugo and we have Paula,
Yeah.
and we need to find those players here. We did just sign our first P1 player.
Okay.
We signed Tonette.
Okay.
So very,
Congrats.
not a top 10, but
It's
well known.
You have
well
that
liked.
in their circuit now.
Exactly, and we're close to signing a female player as well
Good.
on the tour. So we are building the brand from the ground up, grassroots. We're not a big brand that's going to come in and spend millions of dollars. We're a players brand.
Good.
And that's what we are.
Perfect. And what about, let's say, college or like young talent,
Yes.
kids on that? How do you envision paddle in the US with that? Because I think it's going to be part of the future, but we are not there yet.
Correct. The big thing is the courts. First thing is there needs to be the courts. Right now, there's roughly 400 courts in the U.S. Everyone has their projections. I've done my projections based on looking at other markets and growth curves and numbers and players and percentage of populations.
Yeah.
And I feel confident with the investment and the real estate availability. By 2028, hopefully we'll have 8,000 to 10,000 courts.
Wow.
And many of those courts will be on college campuses, in schools. So,
That's going to be magic.
yes. So we need to, as courts become available and clubs reach out to local communities, we can start high school programs and junior programs. It can't just be, the governing body is great with their junior program, but it's still small. It's not reaching the we have to reach the masses.
Yeah.
And how do we do that? We have to go to the schools. So high schools are not going to build, especially public schools. It's rare that they're going to build courts, at least now.
Yeah.
But they partner with local clubs, similar to what squash does. A lot of the squash facilities allow local schools to come
during
in,
that
use
time,
the
that-
facilities during off times, and
Yeah.
fills the courts, and it's introducing new players to the game. So I think as we do that, college campuses are starting to look at it, and we'll build courts, and that's when the game will explode, and that'll create a demand for more courts. So that's crucial to the growth. Also, right now, it's a premium to play Padel.
Yeah.
So you're getting a demographic that can afford the sport.
Yeah.
But as happened in Spain, the sport boomed when there was so many courts that the price to play came down.
Yeah, but you are also willing to pay more to have a great experience. So there are like different standards and levels.
Correct.
So you can play for free on your condo.
Yes.
But then when you want to have a great experience and then maybe have some tapas in the club, you go with friends and pay your $12 per the card, and you're happy with that.
And there's a market for everything.
Yes.
There's enough players that it's not going to, eventually it won't exclude people. There's a market for everyone.
I think so.
So and that's the point where the number of courts and players will explode.
Okay, how big is your team right now?
In the U.S. or globally?
In the U.S.
In the U.S., it's mostly me.
Okay.
It's mostly me.
One-man band.
I have some people in the background. I have a warehouse, team in the background that
You have
warehousing
big
ships my
partners,
goods.
say.
I have, an accounting firm that does my accounting.
Yeah.
And right now I'm looking for sales representatives in various parts of the countries because
You need,
I can only be in so many
some
places.
tentacles, let's say.
Correctly. So I'm looking for some sales representatives in the West Coast, in Arizona, in Texas, the middle states, the Northeast, where the clubs are.
Yeah.
So we're looking at salespeople, and we're close. And we, if anyone's interested, give me a call if you want to represent our brand.
Perfect.
And I have a PR firm I use. Thank you, Element M,
They connect
Natalie,
us.
for connecting us. They do a great job, and they've done a great job for us. And I'm Currently, I'm doing a lot of the social media myself, but I'll be adding a social media team.
Excellent.
Because I need to focus on the branding
Yeah.
and the product. So I'm building out my team. Remember, we just started here in the U.S. in December.
Okay.
So we're
Very
we're
quick.
less than 4 months.
Yeah.
So, and I think we've made a lot of progress for 4 months and are doing great, but we've got a long way to go.
I think so. Coming to racket has been your, like, going out.
Yes.
Like your first big event to show.
Racket X was phenomenal for us. Robin and her team do a great job. I was very involved early with my prior company
Okay.
with
So
Racket
you
X.
know where you were coming and
Correct.
why
So
you come here.
this year, it was crucial to work with Racket X. It grew nicely over last year, and we expect big things to continue that growth next year. And it's really phenomenal that they've been able to put together a racket sports show, currently focused predominantly on paddle,
Yeah.
but
Open to any racket
open to
sport.
any. And so Racket X was a great experience. It brought together, it shows that an industry is emerging. They're the court people, there were the coaches.
Everybody. Like, or industry oriented. I don't like
Correctly.
it. Everybody that's there has a goal. They're not just to pass time and walk around. No, everybody
Correct.
has an interest, like legit interest in
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And it also presented great opportunities, especially for me, for networking, to meet coaches, to meet influencers, to meet, I know most of the other brands, so, it's small industry. And at this point, the saying, rising tides lift all boats. We always compete against each other, but in order to be a true industry, it has to grow so that there's room for everyone.
Yeah, I say that we are frenemies.
Yes,
somehow, right?
correct.
So-
And so they've done a great job. I look forward to being there next year and to helping to make the show bigger and better.
Phil, thanks for coming. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank
I
you
love
for
it.
having me.
And hope to see you soon somewhere else in the US.
Yeah.
Telling us how good you are doing, or here in our Identify studio, you're always welcome.
Correct. I need to make a quick plug.
Okay,
Okay,
do it.
sure.
Yeah, of course. It's the moment now.
Yes, our website is Pallap Pádel USA. I'm sorry, no, back. I'm
No, no,
confusing.
yeah.
PallapUSA.com is our website where you can see the full product line. And Instagram, follow us at Pallap Pádel USA.
Perfect.
So Pallap Pádel USA on Instagram. Please follow us. We want to build our following and be a part of the community.
You're gonna do raffles and all those things that people
Yes.
like in social
Yeah,
media?
we have 2 big contests going
Oh,
on
wow.
now. We do. So if you go to our website, PallapUSA.com, you can see at the top there's a yellow header.
Okay.
And it directs you where to go to info@PallapUSA.com to enter.
Okay.
You follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then you send an email with your information. Right now there's a beautiful inn called Brookbound Inn in Vermont. If you're not familiar with Vermont,
I've never been there.
beautiful mountains, scenic
But
green.
I have a good friend there that
Well,
plays paddle.
My friend Whitney Kraft, who's also very involved in this industry, him and his son-in-law own an inn
Okay.
there. And it's a beautiful location, and they've got a paddle court, a pickleball court, and in the spring there's hiking. And so you can win a 2-night stay
Oh, wow.
for up to 4 people. Play Padel. If you're new to Padel, Whitney will give you a personalized lesson, an introduction course, and you can hike. And so go to...
Kind of a retreat.
Yes.
Ah, good.
So follow us on Instagram and go to info@PallapUSA to enter. You can see the details on our website, Pallap USA. So beautiful there. And then we've got all these things we're doing. We're handing out cards to scratch and win discount and other things. So we're doing fun stuff. But yes, enter that contest. You can win a beautiful weekend. There's also other prizes, rackets and bags and accessories you can win. So
The over grips and all those things.
we're a friendly company. The nice part about us, you're dealing with me, the
person,
owner.
yeah.
You're not dealing with sales reps and layers, and that's our goal.
That makes it easy.
To touch the player, to be a part of the industry, help the industry grow, and build our great brand at the same time.
Excellent. So thank you, and we have to talk more and know how you are doing, because I love entrepreneurship. So
Thank you.
the early days, the beginning, all that, and see how it evolves is super interesting.
I will come back anytime you invite me.
You're not far from
Right,
here. So
we're close.
good. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming,
again.
Philip.